that, but it will seem like a lie. I mean, that's the wild thing in this life. Nothing, lies aren't real. There's no such thing as a lie. Which, quite frankly, is why you shouldn't lie. Let's say, like, oh, you miss work a lot and you decide to give the excuse, oh, so and so passed away. That's why you should never say something like that, because nothing is a lie. It's like you are initiating that process because that's what you have to do. Because, like I said, I felt like a lie. Oh boy. But you have to keep saying it, keep repeating it until it becomes the truth. You are beautiful. I love myself, and I mean that. I love myself so much. I understand I'm so precious, that I'm worth life, that I'm worth being treated with kindness, care, and compassion. Why? Because I've given it out. And I'm worthy of the same things that I've given out, given to me. I had to change my perspective and stop looking to the outside for what is already right here in the inside. Oh boy, because it's so true. I wanted love and care, so what I do, I gave it to others, hoping I'd get it back in return. No. That's never how you get anything. Looking outside of you, that's how you lose. That is how you lose. Okay? It is such a weird catch-22, bro. It's like the way, if you need something, you're not gonna get it. You're just not. That's not how it works. You have to be that something to get that something. And when you already are, when you're already content with yourself, when you know you already have it, then you don't need it. But that's when it comes. Let's just give the example of love, because that makes the most sense to me. Saying, like, I no longer need outside validation whatsoever. No. Because even something like me wearing like all these hair clips, me being very flamboyant and colorful because I like colors, and like wearing childish-ish clothes. I mean, granted, I did get this in the child section, I think, at Walmart, and plus side child section for the win. But yeah, I no longer care about outside validation from people like I used to. I used to feel bad and really concern myself with what people thought about me, or even just wanted to be treated with kindness and like be really sad when people wouldn't. Not anymore. Okay? Because I learned all that love and care I'm giving out to other people, I need to just pour into myself. Pour into myself with that care, love, compassion. Oh my gosh. Because I found, for someone like us, I feel like some people are on the same page as me. It's like the golden rule, right? Like I said, it's like, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. But for people like us, our golden rule is do unto yourself as you would do unto others. Because for some reason, because like how we're taught a lot of things, it's so hard to care about ourselves. And it's like, that's something you have to learn how to do. And it takes time, reprogramming your brain, saying these things to yourself, believing them, and standing on business to not accept bullshit from anything or any person, to not allow that to continue to be in your life. And that's challenging for a lot of people. But for someone like me, I mean, I knew I was this way, that I care, until it's gone. And once it's gone, I'm not saying I was always like that. There was a lot of times I went back and forth with certain people, especially like romantically. I'd say it like that. Because people used to be able to guilt trip me. Being honest. Not anymore. I will hold myself tight, come hell or high water, and never let myself go again. Why? Because I love myself. I know I'm worth it. And there is no one else that's going to come between me and myself ever again. Family means nothing. Why? We don't get to choose our family, number one. Like, it's like you have to deal with them. I mean, you don't even, because I felt like if I would have spoken up earlier, like when I was 12, to be honest, and made so much noise that my stepmom would have been able to kick me out, maybe send me with my grandma or something. It's like I never had to deal with the things I felt I had to deal with. It was always a choice. And that's very difficult to understand. It takes a long time to understand and accept, realizing that you have the power. You just keep giving your power away. That's a hard pill to accept, to realize it is on you. I mean, and it's true, like a lot of the situations I was in, why didn't I speak up? And I understand, and I give myself grace. Because at that point in time, most of the time I didn't even know I could. I didn't understand how to, even if I did understand I could. And it takes time and practice and patience. Boy, is it worth it. And boy, can I say I'm there now. Especially with God backing me up. Because I know that there is a lot of people that is shocked to see that I'm even still alive. And granted, on the physical level, I have no idea. Okay, I don't know of any schemes, plots. I don't. But on the spiritual level, I know that people are coming after my life, literally. And they're like, how is she still alive? How are any of these attacks not working? What's the sauce? What's the secrets? It's the fact that God's backing me up every step of the way. Because before that, I was so scared. I was so terrified of the outcome of speaking up and standing up for myself and really changing my life. Terrified. Because it's like, damn, if they're this awful to me when I'm not even doing anything, how bad would it be if I actually did something that they would be mad about? You know, like, so that always stopped me. But once I was obedient, for that matter, and stepped out on faith, God backed me up every step of the way. Oh boy. Oh man. Oh gosh. Okay. So yeah, it's to the point, like, as long, like, I'm physically not worried about my life in that regards, because I know I'm protected, like, because I know God will protect me. Because like I said, if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be here at this point anyway. So I have an understanding that God's definitely going to protect me physically. Anyone comes up against me like that, I feel bad for them. That's all I gotta say. It's like, I'm laughing because it's like, oof. Just because, like, there's such an inner knowing of that. Yeah. Especially given the fact that, like, I succeeded of my mission. And like I said, like, oh, this is so great. Because I succeeded and I rectified my past and rectified my old self. And it's crazy because demons are humans. There's no difference. It's just the fact of, do they have a meat suit on or not? Are they living as a human or not? So, are angels, it's the spirit too, just without the angels, or spirits without the meat suit. It's like, are they in human skin or not? So that old 300-year-old version of me was a very high-ranking demon. Well, like I said, I don't care if anyone believes me or not. I'm just getting my story out there. But yeah, I learned that. Just, watching certain things on demonology, I've never gotten too deep into it. I would, just for knowledge purposes. But I realized there were 4 princes. I was definitely one of those 4. I don't remember the names. I wish I could. But I think there was one that is like really heavy in lust. Definitely was Mance. Okay, because like that, even in my life currently, that was such a big issue. Sex for some reason. It's like, for what? I'm a good Christian girl. What do you mean sex? So yeah. But aside from that, it's like, not only do I have the protection of all the angels, and oh boy, I also have the protection of every demon in hell. And because I rectify that part of myself. And because I did that, especially for one of the very high-ranking demons, they all respect me for that. Especially because right before I succeeded, I could have failed. I could have started the whole cycle over again. And what that was because I was in that darker part of me. And I wanted to get revenge. The urge was there to just be like, yo, everyone that did me wrong, it's Judgment Day. I'm coming knocking on your door. Like, that's how I was feeling. But I really sat with myself. And that the truest part of me in my heart was like, no. Even though I was done wrong, I'm not going to turn around and do the same thing to them. Because I felt sad going through it. And so when I let that go, that's when I won. And they respect me for that. Because that's not an easy thing to do. It's not. And so yeah, it's like I've got the protection of like demons and angels. And to be honest, the angels are far more cutthroat. So, yeah, because it's like when God casts judgment on you, it's a lot worse. Versus like if it's a demon attack, that's more generous, to be honest. But yeah, it's like, also being honest, God bestowed on me the power to cast judgment. And that's something people don't like. Because that's something that was from the get-go. And it's one of the reasons why, that's how it was from the get-go. And that's one of the reasons why people never liked me in my life, or I was always a problem being around, because they felt that presence in me, that really strong otherworldly presence, and they didn't want to be around me, or didn't want me around because it casted light on their darkest parts, where they would be judged. Whew, that's a lot. But yeah, it's come to my attention that if anyone is in my life, or comes into my life, association or otherwise, their soul did that on purpose. They want all the smoke, all the spiritual smoke, and I mean that both in a positive or negative, if it so happens to, as in their soul is ready to receive. So say if they are kind, caring, and compassionate, they are blessed. Like I said, God bestowed the power on me to cast judgment. And judgment is not always bad. It's like they will be blessed by being in my presence. If I have affection and affinity for somebody, they are blessed, and I mean that. And I'm working on cultivating that to make sure I'm giving that to myself too, not just other people. And that's how people take advantage of me, because I would just give out that good energy to people all the time, especially when they didn't deserve it. But yeah, so it's not always a bad thing. But if they racked up nothing but bad debt, man, the repo man's coming to your house. No, but truly, it's like on a physical level, people treat me like shit, whatever. I really don't care that much anymore. I mean, the sad part is I do. And that's why he bestowed the power to cast judgment on me, because even though all I know, I still am heart first with people. That's how I am. And as they said, all of my higher spirits inside of me, how they said it was, we are pimping her out. As in, that pure side of me is frontward facing, as in how people react to that, that is their judgment. And their soul knows that. So they wanted that smoke just being around in my life, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I would honestly just say, if you're watching this and like you hate me and like don't want me to succeed and like want bad things to happen to me, I would not. I would honestly just, and I'm not being like, oh, look at me, because I really don't care. But I'm just saying this out of like care and compassion. It's just to take up my example and just walk away. And yeah, because that will be in your best interest. And I mean, it is not, I'm not trying to anything to happen to anybody. I mean that wholeheartedly. I want to see people succeed. I want to help and see people win. But you're not going to win with that thought process and attitude. Because truly, if there's someone that you don't like, walk away. Just remove them from your life. Especially now that I'm not there. It's like, it should be good now. Aren't you happy? I'm not in your life anymore. So why are you still focused on me? I was the one that made your life bad. And now I'm not there, so enjoy your life. Live the life the way you want it. The way you want. I'm no longer baggage in your life. I'm no longer a burden or something you have to feel like you have to live up to because of my energy. And I get it. I understood that there's not many people like me. And it's funny because all the people who were bagging on me realized that too on a spiritual level. But what they tried to do was make me feel bad about myself, saying, "Ew, you're so different. What's wrong with you? Oh my God." When in reality, it's like, I'm unique. I am so valuable and special. I am rare. To be in my energy is something you don't feel from people every day. And it's like, now I understand in that aspect of my value. That to the point, even if people don't see that, and the thing is they do, because they're trying to devalue me by saying those things. They always saw my value. They were just making sure I didn't see my own value. And my thing is, instead of trying to tear down someone else's value, why don't you build up your own? Just like I did. I'm telling you, it's so worth it. It's so worth it. Oh my gosh. Okay. So to come back to what happened after I got the message to get my ass out of there, because at that point didn't have any savings. I don't even think I had money. Uh, so yeah, it was a lot. But I just really took the time to think about making plans of like how can I move out, honestly. And one of the biggest issues I had was I had a lot of shit. Like I had so much stuff, and it oh sorry, a lot of it was like business inventory because I have my own business where I make jewelry and accessories. Oh gosh, it's backwards. But this says Star Child, um, and not backwards way. I should figure out how to fix that. Um, or so yeah, I have a lot of crafting supplies. Um, yeah, and like all these really cool keychains. There's a Steelers version one. Oh my gosh. I dropped it. But yeah, like so much. Right. So yeah, I have a lot of crafting supplies and business inventory for that reason. And I was thinking like, okay, let me get a storage unit for all my stuff. That will help me because then maybe I could just get a place on Craigslist until I get my credit up and I'm able to get my own place. So I did that. I started looking for storage units and seeing on TikTok, a lot of businesses had storage units where they could work out of. And I wanted one of those since it was mostly business inventory anyway. I wanted a business type of storage unit that I could be in legally, all that fun stuff. And a lot of the storage units around me did not allow that. But thankfully, one of the guys suggested a place where they specifically have units for that type of things. And I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. So I went there, told him my stuff, and I got a price, and I was excited about it. I didn't have the money right away, but it was within in a month, so just figuring it out. And because it was like they said it was like gonna be 600 or some a month. But I started working at Subway again, and saving up money to try to get that unit. Yeah, and when I finally had the money, I went back there, and there was some miscommunication, but the type I needed was cheaper, because the one they were offering was like more of an office front type of thing, which is really cool shit, where I could have customers coming in. But since I didn't need that, since I was selling most of my stuff online, it was only at the start of it around $430 a month. So I'm like, cool, even better because less money. So I'm like, cool. So I got my storage unit and I started moving a lot of like the craft bins I had out and in there, and it felt really good because shit was heavy, but I'm like, hey, I got this myself, and yeah, and it was funny because my room was such a wreck that you couldn't even tell stuff was gone. But it was okay. And yeah, I even went to Home Depot to buy more tables and another chair so I could like set up stations and stuff to work in there with. And it was I was so excited. I felt like my life was opening up. And yeah, and I don't know, because this was around September. Around October, it got a little iffy because around October it got a little iffy because I stopped working at Subway again because it got sold and I wasn't really vibing with the new ownership. So I left Subway and didn't really have a job to make the rent. But just believe in God, honestly, and I got a job at the Giant Eagle in my plaza that I used to live around, and I thought it was pretty decent money too. $16.50. whatever. But it was better than the $10 I was making over at Subway, so I'll take that. And so the rent was a little late, but I let the property managers know, saying like I got a new job, rent will be paid. I paid it within the month too, so it was fine. And yeah, so that was in October, and around November, yeah, because Thanksgiving, yeah, worst holiday of all time for me, because like I said, I got in trouble over the years with food, and that was one of the absolutely worst holidays of all time because you couldn't be in the kitchen at all until my stepmom was ready for you to come in the kitchen. So you practically starved the whole day, and got used to not eating, but at the same time she would get really upset if you didn't come up the if you didn't come to the table within a minute after she called you, and then you would sit at the table and pretend that it was always a happy family, even though no one ever ate at the table. It was always me eating at the table by myself. Everyone else would be in their room or in front of the TV, but you know, play pretend, I guess. People like to do that. So anyway, I decided to crash there over the night, and it was cool because I realized that no one really cared or noticed that I was there all night because yeah. I mean, it is 24-hour access, which is why I specifically got it, you know, because business purposes, but it was cool, the fact that I had somewhere to go. Somewhere else I could go and relax and just be. It felt so good. Like, yeah, so I crashed there over the Thanksgiving weekend, and yeah, and then I went back home between then, and I kind of did the same thing over Christmas, really, because it's the second worst holiday for me when I was living there anyway. It's just all pretend and fake, so no, I'm okay. So yeah, I crashed there again, and this time I really didn't, because I wanted to wait until New Year's was over to make sure there was like no residual extra family around the house and stuff, because I'm not vibing with that. So it was around the 6th or so. Yeah, something like that. It was a couple weeks after like the New Year's, and I'm like, I need to go back and like check my mail. So I did that, and it was crazy because I okay, so when I got there, it was really weird because it was like, it was, I mean, granted, maybe she wasn't, but it was like my stepsister was waiting for me because the way she was just sitting in her car and looking at me. I'm like, okay, so I go check my mail, go in my room for a minute, and the vibes were just god awful in that house. And I'm like, you know what? It's time to leave. So I go to leave, and she stops me, and oh my god, she goes and like starts yelling at me, saying like, you can't just like be around and not tell your dad where you're at. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. That was just so funny to me. And I think she said like, "Oh, he's worried about you." And I legitimately said like, "Oh, oh, that's tough." Oh my gosh, that was just so funny to me. Like, what? He's worried about me now, huh? Now he's worried. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. even though this is the man that I told I was so afraid of my stepmom's sister. I know, it's just so deep. Because I had a incident with her in New York. And I told my dad, like, I am so scared of her coming, because I got word that she was coming down to the house. And I was so scared to see her that, like, I told him, like, I really want to jump out my window right now. Like, and really just end it. Like, a lot. And all he did for me was say a little prayer. And he walked away and closed my door. That's definitely what you do when you hear something like that. But hey, shit, he's worried about me. Okay. But yeah, after I said that to her, she got so upset that she was really trying to fight me. She was definitely trying to fight me. She wouldn't let me go back in my car. And she's like, you know what? Go get all your stuff right now. And at that point, I'm like, no, that was not the plan. Because that just wasn't the plan. And my plan was to, work, save up money, and then move out when I was stable. But like, yeah, she would not let me back in my car. And I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. Okay. Have fun. I still had my keys, locked the door, and I walked because I realized the storage unit was right on the bus line that comes up by my house. So I'm like, I'll just take the bus and get the car tomorrow at this point. That night at the place, that was one of the hardest nights. It was so difficult. Because that's when God said it's time to bite the bullet and get all your stuff and never look back. And it was crazy because I was so hurt. I was so hurt. That even had to come to that, like, dang, now it's getting physically violent. Yikes. So I knew that was just the best thing to do. But I didn't want to. I mean, it's still hard as hell. I was comforted because I guess a few days prior I saw someone streaming a game called Little Miss Fortune. I mean, as the title is, like, it's about a little girl. Her name is Fortune, and it's like Little Miss Fortune, but it's actually like a play on misfortune, like bad things happening, just like the bad things happen to the main character of that game. And especially at the end of the game, or towards the end of the game, where she was facing the final boss and she kept falling. She kept getting knocked down, for that matter. I think this was a cutscene, and she kept encouraging herself, like, come on, Little Miss Fortune, you can do it. And just really encouraging herself to be able to make it and keep going. And I really played that in my head because I really needed that, because it was just so difficult. So I just really thank God that everything worked out, though, because the storage unit I was at, they had moving trucks, and if you were moving stuff into the unit, it was free, which helped a lot. So in that, and it felt so good because when I wasn't home for the holidays, everyone was calling me, my stepsister, my stepmom, my dad, all trying to scratch and dig for information of where I am, who I'm with, Who's helping me? Oh, it was so funny when I got those calls because I wouldn't tell any of them anything because who were they? They don't need to know. And of course, that made them upset because I always would. I would always tell them what was going on in my life. And to feel that shift, I'm sure they weren't happy. Did I care? No, because they don't need to know. And that's just that. I'm an adult. They don't tell me everything with the going on in their lives, especially my stepsister. All of a sudden, they just all felt entitled to knowing exactly everything about me. And that's my fault for not keeping and having my boundaries earlier. So whatever, but no. But yeah, so because I got the moving truck, it looked like I was going somewhere. It looked like I had my own place, and just the aspect of that, it felt really good to me. So I was moving all my stuff out, and oh, Jesus Christ, it was funny because like, especially the way people asking like, oh, who's with you? Because no one thought I could drive the truck myself. Granted, I get it. I really, really get it because it was scary. But we did it. We did it. It's like, hey, something we gotta do. Let's do it. But yeah, we drove the truck. It was fine. So like first my dad's like, okay, who drove the truck? And I'm just like, me. But when my stepmom came home later that night, oh my god, the way she yelled as if like a home invasion, burglars, and she yells, "Who's here?" At this point in my mind, I really just wanted to think and say, like, and just yell back downstairs at her, "The boogeyman," because like, why is it that serious? Like, you know it's me. Yeah. But it took me a while to realize the fact that in her mind, she was thinking someone was there with me, helping me, because she had assumed someone was driving the truck. And it wasn't just me. So I realized that as I came downstairs, because I was getting ready to leave anyway for the night. And I said, it's just me. And she's looking at me like, who do you think you are in this house? If that wasn't my place of residence, but okay. It was fine. But I told her like, I'm leaving for tonight, but I'll be back tomorrow to finish. As I walk out the door, she slams the door on my back before I even exit the house. And it hurt. Like, it physically hurt. And then, of course, she immediately purposely locked the deadbolt of the door so I couldn't get back in. And, like, because we didn't have keys for the deadbolt, so it was just an obviously blatant, get out of here and stay the fuck out. And that was my last interaction I've ever had with her. And that told me a lot. Because that really just confirmed what I felt from her from the beginning. How she always wanted me out. Thankfully, the next day she wasn't there. Because she didn't want to be, thank God. So I was able to pack everything out. The rest of my stuff without incident. And when I left, honestly, thankfully, no one was there. My dad decided to leave. So, and it was really funny because the car I had, so it was my stepsister's old car. But my stepmom got a new car, so she gave her old car to her daughter. And my stepmom was like, oh, why don't you take over the payments for her old car, and when the payments are done, I'll put the car in your name. And I'm like, okay, that sounds good. Yeah, it sounds good. And I was able to pay the car off like within the next year. But every time I asked her to go to the title place to change over the title, she was playing games. It was always some excuse. The weather, and so I knew it just wasn't happening. So I gave the car back as the last time being in the house. And yeah. And honestly, it worked out better because my stepmom's a creep. We'll say it like that. She is a stalker and a creep. And the wild part is she showed me she does those things because she decided to look up someone from church and show me the stalkery sites to look up people's information and locations and stuff. So I'm like, yeah, she definitely would do that just because they all just wanted that control over me. And of course she did too, especially since no one knew where I was going. But it helped a lot that the car was never in my name, because then she could potentially find me through my license plate and be a weirdo like that. So honestly, that helped a lot. It really did, because I was able to get the car back, and I was also paying her for the car insurance. So it's like all contact with her gone. Oh, beautiful, lovely. Oh, so God help me on that one. And yeah, it was really scary, to be honest. Because everything I knew kind of got uprooted, you know? And now it's like I willingly became legally homeless, and that was emotionally and mentally difficult for me. There was a lot. There's such a pretty rainbow right now, and it's so cool. Just glad I got to capture this moment. Thankfully, yeah, that night when I went back, there was a subway, right, right, really close to the place, and I definitely applied there, because I'm like, I need a new job because I had to quit the other jobs I kind of had because it was in Cranberry, and bus lines don't run out that far in the city. So I had to find something else, and yeah, they called me back, and that just having that helped so much. And yeah, I told him my situation. I don't regret it at that point, generally speaking, because my license was getting ready to expire, and I needed one. And he had, like, I was talking to the owner, I guess, and the manager was like, first of all, they both didn't think that my stepmom was doing any of that. I get it, or that she was like that. And the manager, she was like, yeah, I mean, you can use my address if you need an ID. I'm like, that was surprising, because I'm thinking, like, I'm not gonna lie, I was worried for her because my stepmom's crazy and wild. And I'm like, bro, she might pull up to your house, but okay. Oh my God. But yeah, and I told the owner that, and yeah, he was really cool at that point, which I really appreciate. And he's like, yeah, okay, well, I mean, if she's okay with it, yeah, that works. And yeah, he would yeah, he took me to the license plate center too. Yeah, I was just so grateful for him. And they coordinated, like, the manager thankfully I didn't need my license, or sorry, like the license wasn't mailed to the house, which was nice. But when I was trying to get a PO box at UPS, they said you need 2 forms of ID, and they said like, and I asked like, would a passport work? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, cool. So I'm like, okay, I get a passport, I can get a PO box. So I do that. I able to get a passport, which was amazing. Because it's like, but you know, I mean, you don't even know if I live there or not, but okay, you know, shit, you don't need to know. So that was so nice. And so she gave me my passport when it came in the mail, because that does get mailed to you. So that was so great. Oh my gosh. So I was able to have a renewed license for however many years. It's still good for like 1 or 2. And I have my passport, which goes for 10 years. But it's hilarious because I didn't need a passport to get a PO box. So we just had the passport for funsies. Yeah, when I talked to the post office guy, it was so random. I don't know. Maybe the kid was new when he told me that, but hey, we got a passport. And it felt good. Unfortunately, yikes on the bike, the amount of drama that happened in that subway. And it let me know I need to like not talk to people that deeply or that personally anymore, because some people just want to see you lose, bro. Despite everything, they just want to see you lose to the point that they lose everything themselves, and it's crazy to me. It really taught me about friends, or just because someone's nice in my face doesn't mean they fuck with me at all. Okay, right? Yeah, no, girl really tried to get me fired. Girl tried to get me in jail. Oh my gosh, but it was wild. But eventually, the owner started treating me like shit. Unsurprisingly, that happens in jobs, you know. So I had to leave. And in between there, got a bunch of odd jobs, I'd suppose. But like, it was crazy though, because I finally get my PO box in October. Yeah. Around October. And I'm like, okay, I put a change of address for mail to come from the house to the PO box. But when you get a change of address, they send a slip of mail back to your old address, saying like, not with your new address, but saying like, okay, we're sending the mail over. My stepmom saw that, and in her mind, she's like, "Oh my gosh! Oh no! She's really gone. We gotta go get her back. We gotta go get her." Because this was in October of 2023, right? The last time she saw me was in January of 2023.